Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into something that's literally under your feet, but probably not on your mind. Plumbing. And we're going to see how your home is in this constant hidden battle with the world around it.
So let me start with a question you've probably never even thought about. Could your zip code, your actual address, determine the kinds of plumbing problems you're going to face? Well, it turns out the answer is a big yes.
Here's what we're going to cover. We'll look at a town under some serious hidden stress, then we'll literally dig into the ground beneath it. We'll connect the dots from tiny drips to major disasters, see how the pros find these invisible problems, and then we'll bring it all back to help you figure out your own home story.
Okay, let's dive right in. To really get a handle on this, we're going to focus on one specific place, Friendswood, Texas. It's a town on the Gulf Coast that, believe it or not, has a really unique story to tell, all through its pipes. You see, this place is the perfect example of that invisible war between our houses and the land they're built on. The plumbing here doesn't just get old and fail. No, it's being actively attacked 24/7 from the outside in. So what are these invisible forces I'm talking about? Well, to find out, we have to look down at the very ground your house is sitting on. The number one culprit is something called expansive clay soil. Now, I want you to think of the ground under your house like a giant, powerful sponge. When it gets wet, it swells up, and when it's dry, it shrinks back down. Imagine that happening over and over, squeezing and releasing the pipes buried inside it. And if that wasn't enough, you add this to the mix, a high water table. All that means is the groundwater is super close to the surface, so that clay soil, it almost never gets a chance to fully dry out. It just stays wet and mobile, which means that giant sponge is constantly shifting.
But it's not just one thing, you see. It's a combination punch. You've got the shifting clay soil and the wet ground. Then you throw in the thick Gulf Coast humidity that makes everything rust faster, plus salt in the air from Galveston Bay making that corrosion even worse, and top it all off with wild temperature swings. It is a full-on environmental assault.
Okay, so you have all this geology stuff happening, but how does that actually turn into a real and, let's be honest, expensive problem for someone who just wants to live their life? This is where the science lesson becomes a homeowner's headache.
And problem number one is the big one, the dreaded slab leak. As that soil moves around, it puts a ton of pressure on the water lines under the concrete foundation, and eventually, pop, tiny little pinhole leaks start to form. These are a total nightmare because you can't see them at all.
So how do you even know you have one? Well, usually the first clue is just pure shock when you open your water bill. A single, tiny, hidden leak can waste thousands of gallons of water, and suddenly your bill is $400 or even more. That's when you know something is seriously wrong.
And that environmental stress causes a whole cascade of other issues. I mean, beyond slab leaks, you're talking about sewer lines getting cracked by the shifting ground or invaded by tree roots that are hunting for that water. Older pipes just corrode way faster, and even big appliances like your water heater give out way sooner than they should.
And check this out. This chart really drives the point home. In that humid, salty Gulf Coast air, a water heater might only make it 8 to 12 years. But you take that exact same heater and put it in a drier, more stable climate inland, and it could easily last over 15 years. The environment can literally cut its lifespan in half. So, you're faced with these hidden threats, these invisible enemies attacking your home. How in the world do you fight back against something you can't even see? Well, the industry has had to get pretty clever. The key is to stop guessing and start seeing. Today's pros have this incredible diagnostic toolkit. They use super sensitive audio gear to literally listen for the sound of a leak under solid concrete. They can send little high-def cameras right inside your pipes, and they use pressure tests to pinpoint exactly where water is escaping. No more guesswork. And the leap forward in how they actually fix the problems? It's night and day. The old way meant bringing in a backhoe and digging these huge, ugly trenches right through your yard, your driveway, everything. The new way? It's called trenchless technology, and they can repair pipes underground through just a couple of small access points. It's amazing.
And all this new tech is wrapped in a much better process. It's straightforward, they find the problem, they give you a clear price right up front, and nothing gets done until you approve it. It puts you, the homeowner, back in control of a really stressful situation.
Okay, so we've been deep in the weeds in Friendswood, Texas. But let's zoom out now. What does all of this actually mean for you, no matter where you live? How do you take these lessons and apply them to your own house? See, the bottom line is that every home has its own unique story, defined by its surroundings, and it's really worth taking a minute to understand yours. Ask yourself,
What kind of soil is my house built on? What's my climate really like? Is it humidity, hard freezes, super hard water? How old is my home, and what kind of pipes does it have? You can even look at your local building codes. They're basically a cheat sheet for the area's biggest challenges.
And we'll leave you with this. Your home isn't just a static box of wood and nails. It's in this constant dialogue, this dance, with its environment. And understanding those unseen forces, that's the first and most important step to protecting it. So what's the hidden story being written inside your walls?